I just wanna be happy, happy tonight.
Travel. It is a necessary inconvenience to get you from where you are to where you want to go. Depending on the country you live in, your budget, and how far you want to go, you will have options for how you want to reach your destination. To some, travel is a wonderful experience that signifies the start of your relaxing vacation. To others, it is a necessary annoyance, and to another type of group, it is a complete hell and may not be worth undertaking. This video will be focusing on the latter. Most of the time when we think of traveling to our destination, we think of air travel. That's why we tend to see memes like this, and those countless pictures of airplane wings when someone uploads their vacation photos. Since we won't talk about the state of travel in 2020, we will go and look at the 2019 statistics. There were a total of 72,610,000 trips outside the UK in 2019, which is averaging more than one trip per person, as UK population is only 67 million. This shows an incredible appetite towards travel abroad, but what if you hate the idea of traveling abroad and have no interest in exploring? Well, you could just stay in the country and do a staycation, and that's the video done for you. But what if you want to go abroad and too worried and anxious about it? Whether you're worried about the different languages that'll be spoken there, how much it'll cost for a pint of beer, or what happens if you hurt yourself, and what about even getting there in the first place? Well then, this video is for you. After all, I was in this position not too long ago. I went from being too afraid of a 1-hour flight to France from Cardiff, which is the capital city of Wales, to boarding an 11-hour flight from London Heathrow to Las Vegas for only 5 days. Let me explain my situation first. I found the whole travel experience an anxiety-filled drag, from getting up early to the check-in experience and rude security with long lines. Again, being herded around like cattle and waiting to board a tin can while sitting next to someone who decides a tuna sandwich is a great choice for lunch. Yes, this actually happened. I spoke about the travel experience in extremely negative tone. If that's your attitude about your vacation and not the actual destination, then you've put yourself into a losing battle. This was my biggest problem. Instead of thinking about relaxing by a lake with a drink in Italy, playing football with locals at a hotel in Lanzarote, riding the Hulk in Orlando, wait. Let me rephrase. Riding the incredible Hulk roller coaster in Orlando, looking at the Northern Lights in Finland, or getting ripped off by showgirls in Las Vegas, I was thinking about the actual travel itself and worrying over things that didn't really matter. And the key to getting over your travel anxiety is to take proper planning. So what sort of things should you be planning? Well, you need to know important information in regards to your destination and how you will get there. Before you even plan your trip, you should be researching the place you want to travel to, such as the currency, culture, the language, the phone number for emergency services, and most importantly, the places you want to visit and how much things will cost. When people feel stressed and anxious, it is largely due to the unknown, so planning as much as your trip as possible can save you stress later down the line. Also, if you're traveling to a country that's very different from your native country, it would be a good idea to read the relevant government websites and check local laws because these can differ a lot. For example, if you travel to Thailand, you cannot criticize the Thai royal family because that could lead to imprisonment or deportation. Whereas if you travel to the United Kingdom, it is acceptable to criticize the British royal family. If you've never left your country before out of fear, it would be a good idea to travel to a place with similar standards to your native country. If you live in America, you could just go to a different state, because every state in America does vary differently in culture. But if you're British, a great place to visit is Spain, because it is still in Europe and still abides by the laws of the European Union. It's close by, only being around an hour and a half flight, the weather is nice and the customs are very similar. Typically, there's a lot of British in Spain, a lot. So you will probably encounter many Brits while you are away. Okay, so you've done all the planning and you decided on Las Vegas for your destination. You know that is a very expensive place. You know to avoid the showgirls, and you're aware that it's extremely hot because of geographically where it is. And you realize that it is an 11-hour flight. What's next? Well, you need to ensure that you take out travel insurance, as this will cover you should anything unforeseen happen, such as a flight cancellation or some kind of injury while abroad. You also need to ensure that you decide on how you will get to the airport, whether paying for crazy parking fees or getting a taxi or a family member to take you. This should all be done in the months leading up to your travel, or done as soon as possible once you've booked. Once all that is sorted, it is now time to make sure you have all your items ready. You should make sure you are packed at least 3 days before you travel. You must ensure that your passports are in place where it can easily be found, and you have all the currency required and ready to pack. In this case, make sure you bring US dollars and not euros. This should all be placed in an area close to your front door, so on the day that you travel, it is easy to find and you're not doing a last second scramble for the passport like what happened to me when I was going to Paris a few years ago. I nearly missed my entire flight. So now is the day you travel and you have to get up at 6 AM to head to the airport. You should get there at least 3 hours before to ensure you have enough time to get through the check-in, security, and eventually onto the flight. After all, you need all that time to spend buying giant airport-sized Toblerones in the duty-free section. Before we continue, please consider subscribing to the channel if you want to know all the tricks I use to ensure the most comfort possible while in the airport and on the plane, and also how I managed to secure upgrades, as that will be in a video in itself because of how long it is. But to give you some basic insights, I always take things one at a time. What I mean is, I don't think about getting on the plane when you're in the car on the way to the airport. Instead, I just think about on the destination I'm going to, in our case, Las Vegas. Worry about the next step once you get there. If you are checking in, don't think about the security, because you are still checking in. By only focusing on the present and one thing at a time, you are eliminating much of the stress to come. There's an old saying, cross that bridge once you get there, and that holds true. There is no point in worrying about something that isn't happening yet. If you are getting up and you're going for a shower, don't even think about boarding because you're nowhere near there yet. Be mindful and stick to your schedule, and then everything will be fairly easy. And also, if you allow yourself 3 hours, you're allowing yourself time to relax and be calm and not rush to anything. There's nothing worse than hurrying through an airport trying to catch your closing flight, because then you don't have enough time to calm down before you get on the plane and the plane starts its taxi run. By taking your time, you can increase your relaxation rate. Once you reach your destination, then with all your careful planning, you can focus on doing what you want to do. Some people like to book their excursions in advance, and other people like to decide when they get there. Obviously, booking online has the perks of it being slightly cheaper, but if you do it in person, you're giving yourself more flexibility. So it's cost saving versus your flexibility, how flexible you want to be. So you landed in Las Vegas, and now you can focus on walking across the strip, relaxing in the pool, or if you really insist, get a picture with the showgirls. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to see this video style more often, then please like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments so I can do more videos like this. Check out my other videos on my channel and my yoga streams on Facebook, which will be streaming from 11 AM California time. And I hope to see you all soon. I hope you all have a wonderful day.
I just wanna be